Hey there, welcome everybody to the Goforth Report. And today we're going to talk about Trump. And I got to be real with you all. Trump is going to be on a tear here very soon. With the Mueller report being done and over with at this point, he has a lot of ammunition in his can. And before, I think he was walking on eggshells a lot just to be able to stay above it in case anything did end up coming out of the Mueller report. But now he's done. He's out, and we know that there was a ruling of no collusion at this point. And I think the interesting thing is that he's just going to go nuts. And we see that today he was, from the Daily Caller here, that he was actually out at a rally in Grand Rapids, Michigan. And we're going to go through some of the story and watch the video. But I think Trump is about ready to be on a tear with the Democrats at this point. I don't think he has to play nice anymore. I think he's been doing it for a while because of the investigation, calling it a witch hunt, which it kind of was, it seems, at this point. But with that being said, President Donald Trump called out the Democratic Party for their ridiculous BS during his Thursday night rally in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Trump used salty language as he spent much of the night railing against the debunked Russian collusion conspiracy theory. We have a lot of great support. Far more than you think. But where we really have the support are the voters that pull the handle or whatever the hell they are pulling. They are pulling it for us. And I got to tell you, looking at some of the other articles that we have out there, when you look at the actual results from places like Brian Stelter on CNN, where he is saying right now that it was a slow news week. But you see Fox News ratings end up surging. And this week alone, we've had Trump, the Mueller report, done and over with. Trump exonerated, essentially. We have the Jussie Smollett case with the possible cover-ups going on in Chicago. We have Michael Avenatti being arrested this week. We have Garagos being pulled from CNN and from being Jussie Smollett's lawyer. Like, this is a huge news week. And you have people out there like Brian Stelter saying, it's because it's a slow news week. Maybe for them because they don't have their usual narrative to be able to spin. And what that's causing to happen is Trump's going to go wild. And the funny thing about him is he was never a conservative to begin with. He actually used to be a Democrat, a registered Democrat. And with that being said, let's take a listen in on some of this video here that Trump was at his rally in Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Hello, but he likes Trump. No, but we have a lot of great support. We really do. We have a lot of great support. Far more than you think. But where we really have the support are the voters that pull that handle or whatever the hell they're pulling. They're pulling it for us. So, the Russia hoax proves more than ever that we need to finish exactly what we came here to do. Drain the swamp. The Democrats have to now decide whether they will continue defrauding the public with ridiculous bullshit, partisan investigations, or whether they will apologize to the American people and join us to rebuild our crumbling infrastructure, bring down the cost of health care.
All right, there you have it. That right there, where he's talking about bringing down the cost of health care. He's talking about, he's back on platform at this point, and we have all of these Democrats running off for the 2020 election, and Trump has essentially been putting himself out there and having these rallies as if he is running for president again. He is already out there running for 2020, and with his ratings going up right now, with seeing things like CNN and MSNBC's ratings dropping like a rock in the river, like, I have to think that he is going to be sealing the deal for a huge landslide victory coming up in 2020. Now, while going into this, I was no fan of Trump's. During the actual runoff for the Republicans, I actually said, when people were mocking him and doubting him, I said, guys, don't do this. Don't take him so lightly. I'm pretty certain he's going to be the candidate. And people laughed at me when I said it, but there he is, the candidate. And then whenever Hillary was up as far as like 99% to win the presidency, I said, guys, I think he may end up winning it. Like, I don't think you guys realize what people are saying. And the problem is that people were afraid to say that they were backing Trump, which in all fairness, he's not a great guy. Like on a social level, he is terrible. But the best way that I've heard it said is that Trump was a stick of dynamite that we threw into the White House at this point. We were tired of business as usual. So a bunch of Americans said, let's try this out, and threw him into the White House. And you know what? There are things that President Obama said that Trump couldn't do. That he couldn't raise the GDP by 4%. It's happened. That he couldn't bring factory jobs back to America. It's happened. That he couldn't negotiate peace with North Korea. Hasn't happened yet, but the workings are starting to come together. And we're seeing Trump just going to be on a tear. I mean, you see the article up over here as well. Trump, pencil neck Adam Schiff is not a long ball Hitler. Like, he's going to go nuts with his name calling. And honestly, that's what won him the election back in 2016. And like it or not, it's this childish name calling and getting out in front of people that kind of gives him staying power. He's used to being a reality TV star. He's used to being the bombastic one and being out there and making sure that everybody knows him, because in his mind, no press is bad press. Like, if you are in the news, people are talking about you. And we've already seen many, many news organizations chase the Trump bump, like CNN and MSNBC, which after this Mueller collusion report came out, we've watched their numbers tank, as I said earlier. So I don't know. I think that going into this, I'm going to keep doing articles about Trump coming up here, because I think he's about ready to just say some crazy stuff. We already have him looking into the Jussie Smollett case, which is a whole nother thing. I talked about the Jussie Smollett case earlier. Turns out Kim Foxx flat out said we had enough evidence, but now at this point he's going nuts. So I look forward to you guys watching it. Take a look and leave some comments below. Subscribe. If you have anything that you want me to talk about on the next video, just let me know. Until then, have a great day. This has been the Goforth Report.